studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OU Sports Update with Jake Trotter. I'm Jenny Carlson. Jake, a lot going on last week with the basketball team, and not on the court and not in recruiting. We're starting to find out some more details about this ongoing investigation with the basketball team and Jeffrey Hausinger, the Merrill Lynch agent. What do we know at this point about where things stand with all of this?
Well, the University of Oklahoma and the NCAA have an ongoing joint investigation into the matter. What we found last week is that Arande Talaferro, the assistant coach who abruptly resigned a couple of months ago, made 66 phone calls or text messages that we found to this financial advisor in question, Jeffrey Hausinger out of Tampa. Now, that doesn't mean that OU or Talaferro committed an NCAA violation, but when you look at the fact that TMZ is reporting that Gallon received $3,000 in a wired into his bank account from Hausinger, the fact that Talaferro and Hausinger converse so much is a little bit suspicious.
Is this a case where when there's smoke, there's fire? I mean, I would think there has to be some real trepidation right now about what this could all mean for OU basketball. Yeah,
I mean, you definitely. Anytime the NCAA is investigating your program, you have to be a little bit nervous. And the more we look into it, the fact that if you'd left it at Gallon receiving money from Hausinger, if that in fact happened and OU wasn't related to what happened, I think it'd be a different case. But when you have an assistant coach involved, I think that rises the notch a little bit in terms of the seriousness of it. So I think that's something to look forward. And one thing that interesting I found last week too, because Gallon was talking to the Kansas City Star at the Chicago pre-draft camp and basically copped to receiving the money, said that they used the money to repay tuition that they owed up at in Virginia at the Prep Academy. And so that goes further to validate the TMZ report back from, I think it was March.
Yeah. Seems like there are maybe two big issues at play here. One would be personnel at OU, and are there jobs at stake? What's your feeling on that? And then secondly, what's sort of worst case scenario here with the NCAA? That seems to be the other big issue institutionally with this issue. Where do those two things stand at this point?
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, you can only imagine. I think a bunch of people were involved, and it was a major conspiracy. I don't think that's what's going on. I think that everybody's job is relatively safe who's still there. Now, if they found that people knew about it that they didn't think knew about it before, then I think you're again, that's a more serious charge. But I think at this point, that it's one wire transfer, one assistant coach, one player. I don't think it goes further than that, at least what we know right now.
And institutionally, the NCAA may come down hard on the program. I mean, this is a school that's been in front of the NCAA Infractions Committee a couple of times.
That's the thing to keep an eye on, the fact that OU is on probation going back to the Kelvin Sampson and the Rhett Bomar incidents, and that certainly is something the NCAA is going to take into account. It's not going to be an individual, isolated incident. They're going to look at the program as a whole.
All right, thanks, Jake. Stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.